I never thought a simple ranch gathering could unravel my entire world. My name is Sarah Thompson, and up until that scorching July afternoon in Bozeman, Montana, I believed I had the kind of life folks out here dream about. A sturdy ranch house on 20 acres, a loving husband named Jack, and our 8-year-old daughter, Lily, who could ride a horse better than most adults. We'd built it all together, him with his consulting gig that took him on the road, me managing the local veterinary clinic. It was the American dream. Western style, wide open skies, hard work, and family barbecues that stretched into the starry nights. The annual neighborhood roundup at the old Henderson spread was nothing special, or so I thought. Folks from all over the valley showed up, ranchers, farmers, even some city types who'd moved out for the quiet life. Kids chased chickens through the dust, men huddled around the smoker debating the best brisket rub, and us women shared stories over iced tea and homemade pie. I was slicing watermelon near the picnic tables, watching Jack man the grill with that rugged charm that first caught my eye back in college, when Evelyn Carter sidled up to me. Evelyn was our next-door neighbor, a tough widow in her late 60s who'd run her own cattle operation after her husband passed. She was the type to drop off fresh eggs or help fix a fence without asking for thanks. "Sarah, darlin', mind helping me fetch something from the truck?" she said, her voice low but steady, like she was commenting on the weather. I wiped my hands on my jeans and followed her past the corral, but instead of heading to her pickup, she led me to a quiet spot behind the barn, away from the laughter and the sizzle of meat on the fire. The Montana sun beat down, but a chill ran through me anyway. "Jack ain't who you think he is," she said, her wrinkled hand on my arm, eyes sharp as a hawk's. I blinked, thinking it was some joke. "What in the world are you talking about, Evelyn?" She didn't flinch. "Saw him last week in Idaho Falls. That's a good 3-hour drive from here. He was with a woman and a couple of kids. They called him Dad." My stomach twisted like I'd been kicked by a mule. "You must have mistaken him for someone else." Jack was at a client meeting in Denver. But Evelyn shook her head, her silver hair catching the light. "I was there for my niece's wedding. Spotted him at a feed store. Boy about 10. Girl maybe 6. Woman looked pregnant. Clear as day. I felt the ground shift under my boots. Through the barn slats, I could see Jack flipping steaks, his Stetson tipped back, laughing with our neighbor Tom. Lily was riding piggyback on her uncle, squealing with joy. "This can't be right," I whispered. Evelyn pressed on gently. He saw me too.
"Sarah,"
went pale as fresh snow, hustled them into his truck, and peeled out, left their cart full of supplies behind. I clutched the barn wall, my nails digging into the weathered wood. "I need proof. I can't just believe this." She nodded, slipping a scrap of paper into my hand. "Got the address."
"Followed indiscreetly."
"I'm sorry, but I had to be sure." "Why tell me?" My voice cracked, the vast Montana landscape suddenly feeling too big, too empty. Evelyn's eyes softened. 40 years ago, my Earl did the same. Wasted half my life before I found out. Wish someone had warned me. We slipped back to the party separately. I forced a smile, chatted about hay prices and school fundraisers. But inside, a storm was brewing. Jack found me as the sun dipped toward the Rockies, wrapping his arm around my waist. "You all right, babe? Seem a bit off." He smelled like smoke and pine, the scent I'd always associated with home. "Just the heat," I lied, leaning into him. "And your mom's hinting about grandkids again." He chuckled. "She means well."
"Hey."
Might have to head out to Boise next week. Big project. Of course. The paper burned in my pocket. 214 Oak Ridge Drive, Idaho Falls. That night, as Jack snored beside me, I stared at the ceiling beams, tracing the knots in the wood. Tomorrow, Evelyn would fill in the blanks. But already, that seed of doubt had taken root, twisting into something sharp and unyielding. The next morning dawned crisp, the kind of Montana blue that promises a good day. Jack headed out for his fishing trip with the guys, kissing my cheek like always. Lily was at summer camp, riding trails with her friends. I knocked on Evelyn's door at 8 sharp, and she led me to her kitchen table, where coffee steamed and a plain folder waited like a loaded gun. Hired a PI, she said straight off.
No sugar coating. After what I saw.
Didn't want to blow up your life without facts. My hands shook as I opened it. First photo. Jack outside a cozy bungalow in Idaho Falls, arm around a brunette woman, mid-30s, belly rounded with pregnancy. 2 kids in front, a boy with Jack's square jaw, a girl with his dimples. Her name's Megan Hayes, Evelyn said. Been with him 10 years. 10 years. Just shy of our marriage. The room tilted. Boys Tyler.
9.
Girls Ava. 6. Baby due in November. More photos. Jack at Tyler's Little League game, cheering from the bleachers. Jack pushing Ava on a swing at a park. Family dinners at what looked like a local diner. A parallel life, hidden in the shadow of the Tetons. How does he manage it? I murmured. Evelyn spread a map. His firm's got offices in Bozeman and Idaho Falls. Tells you he's traveling for clients. But it's just commuting. Here Mondays, Tuesdays. There midweek. Weekends he juggles with fishing trips and conferences. Bank statements followed, transfers from our joint account to one I didn't know. Funds for a down payment on their house. Pulled from what he'd called a ranch investment. Our savings. Lily's future. Funding another family's rodeo tickets and school fees. They think they're married, Evelyn added softly. Had a ceremony 4 years ago. Bigamy. Since he's legally yours. But she doesn't know. For years ago, when I'd been battling migraines from stress, begging for another child, Jack soothing me that Lily was plenty, all while his other family expanded. I closed the folder, my mind racing like a wild Mustang. Thank you, Evelyn, for everything. She hugged me tight. What now? I thought of Jack's easy smiles, his lies stacking like cordwood. But beneath the anger, a flicker of pity for the kids, for the woman. I'll handle it legally. No shortcuts. As I drove home, the vast prairies blurring, I vowed to uncover more. Not for revenge alone, but for truth. And maybe, just maybe, a way to heal the wounds before they scarred everyone forever. The weeks that followed were a masterclass in keeping my cool under the big Montana sky. I smiled through breakfast, asked about Jack's trips with feigned interest, even surprised him with his favorite venison stew one night. But while he relaxed in front of the TV, watching rodeo highlights, I was building my case like a rancher mending fences, one sturdy post at a time. First, I peeked at his phone. Password still Lily's birthday. The arrogant fool. His calendar was a web of deceit. Client pitch in Salt Lake, lined up with Tyler's school play in Idaho Falls.
Parmagans Instagram.
I snapped photos of receipts from his truck, gas in Idaho when he claimed Wyoming. Then I lawyered up quietly. Met with a family attorney in Billings, a no-nonsense woman named Carla Ruiz, who specialized in bigamy cases. This is clear-cut fraud, she said, reviewing Evelyn's folder. We'll freeze assets, file for divorce, and report the tax evasion. He's likely claimed dependents twice. Legal clarity grounded me. No vigilante justice. Just the law doing its job.
But I needed to see it myself.
Called in sick to the clinic one Wednesday. Drove the 3 hours to Idaho Falls under a relentless sun. Parked a block from 214 Oak Ridge. Binoculars in hand like some TV detective. At 8 a.m., Jack's truck pulled up. Not his work suit, but jeans and a flannel. Playing the part of devoted dad. Megan greeted him at the door.
Kishling Goring.
The kids tumbled out. Tyler in a backpack. Ava clutching a stuffed horse. He scooped her up, spinning her with laughter that echoed down the street. Their golden lab barked happily. It was picture perfect, the kind of family scene you'd see in a Western Living magazine. I tailed them discreetly to school drop-off. Watched him rub Megan's belly tenderly, the same gesture he'd used when I carried Lily. My heart ached, not just for me, but for her. She was innocent, glowing with that pregnancy joy. On the drive back, tears blurred the highway, but I pulled over at a rest stop and set up a fake email. Created Rachel Ford, a new mom in Idaho Falls seeking friends via local Facebook groups. Within days, Rachel had connected with Megan's circle, book clubs, PDA chats. Their posts filled in the gaps. Mike Hayes, Jack's alias, coaching Tyler's baseball. Surprising Megan with wildflowers from the hills. Anniversary pics from last month when Jack told me he was at a trade show. One post hit hard, Megan gushing about their vow renewal planned for December. To make it official after all these years. Official? It twisted the knife.
Meanwhile,
back home, Jack noticed nothing. "You're looking good lately," he said one evening, nuzzling my neck. New boots. I forced a laugh. Just happy, I guess. But the happiness was purpose, documenting every lie, every transfer. Carla advised patience. Gather evidence. Then we strike clean. Evelyn became my confidant, sharing stories of her own betrayal over coffee on her porch. The Rockies looming like silent judges. Don't let anger consume you.
Sarah.
Think of the kids, all of them. Her words stuck. Lily deserved better than a fractured home. So did Tyler and Ava. And the unborn child? Innocence in a mess not of their making. I hired my own PI for deeper digs, legally, with subpoenas in mind. Reports came back. Jack's dual IDs. Separate phones. Even a fake social security variation for Mike. Tax returns showed double-dipping on deductions. This could mean jail time for fraud, Carla said. But as the evidence piled up, a humane doubt crept in. Was total destruction the answer? Jack wasn't a monster, just a coward who'd snowballed one bad choice into an avalanche. One night, as Jack slept, I slipped out to the barn, sat among the hay bales, and cried. 11 years of marriage, built on sand. But memories flooded, him proposing under a harvest moon, holding Lily as a newborn, fixing the roof during a blizzard. Flawed. Yes, but human. The revenge plot shifted in my mind, not annihilation, but exposure with a path to redemption. A light lesson. Lies erode trust. But truth can rebuild. If you're willing. By month's end, my file was ironclad. Carla drafted papers. Divorce citing bigamy. Asset freeze. Custody eval. I'd report to IRS anonymously, but hold off on criminal charges if he cooperated. We can mediate, she suggested. Give him a chance to own up. I agreed. The West teaches resilience. Storms pass. Land endures. Maybe families could too. The plan crystallized under the vast Montana stars. No scorched earth tactics. Instead, a controlled burn to clear the deadwood. I confided in Evelyn, who nodded wisely. Smart.
Sarah.
Revenge without mercy just poisons the well. First, I needed allies. Joined an online support group for betrayed spouses, real name hidden as Montana Mom. There, I connected with Laura, a teacher in Idaho Falls who'd been through similar hell. She became my bridge to Megan's world, without knowing the full stakes. Through Laura, I learned Megan's routines. Wednesday farmers markets. Friday prenatal yoga. I accidentally friend her as Rachel Ford, posting about moving from Bozeman. We chatted online light stuff.
Momtich.
She seemed kind, genuine, sharing ultrasound pics. Guilt gnawed at me. She didn't deserve this. But silence would perpetuate the lie. Jack's crack showed. He grew jumpy, checking his phone obsessively. Work stress, he muttered when I asked. One Tuesday.
Over Elkburgers.
He floated a December ski trip, just us three. I knew why. To skip the vow renewal. Sounds great, I said, stomach churning. The turning point came at Lily's school play. She was a pioneer girl, beaming in her calico dress. Jack missed it for a emergency meeting. I recorded it, heart heavy, knowing he was likely at Tyler's soccer practice. That night, he watched the video with feigned regret. She's a star. Sorry,
Babe.
there's always next time, I replied, thinking of the families he juggled. Via the support group, Laura agreed to help. If it's true, Megan needs to know gently, especially pregnant. I sent anonymized evidence, photos,
Timelines.
Laura compiled a soft approach, no public blast, just private truth. D-Day loomed. Carla filed for emergency asset freeze, citing fraud. IRS tip went out. Jack's firm got an anonymous query about employee identity discrepancies. But the heart, Laura met Megan at a coffee shop, folder in hand. I waited at home, pacing the ranch house, wind howling outside like a omen. My phone buzzed Laura. She broke down but believes. Calling him now. Minutes later, Jack rang me. Voice panicked. Sarah. Some crazy mix-up. A woman claims I'm her husband. Must be ID theft. Calm down, I said evenly. We'll sort it, but inside. The dam broke. He rushed home early, face ashen. We need to talk. For the first time, I saw fear in his eyes, not the cocky consultant, but a man cornered. I know.
Jack.
About Megan. Tyler.
Ava. The baby.
He collapsed into a chair, head in hands.
How?
Does it matter? 11 years of lies. Bigamy. Stealing from Lily's fund. Tears streamed down his face. I never meant. It started as an affair. Then kids. I couldn't choose. I love you both. Anger surged, but pity tempered it. Love? This isn't love, it's selfishness. I showed him the folder. He sobbed, begging forgiveness. I'll end it.
Therapy. Anything.
But the law rolled on. His phone exploded. Megan, his boss. Security escorted him from work for fraud investigation. That night, as Lily slept, we talked raw. No yelling, just truth. You destroyed trust, I said. But for Lily's sake, maybe we mediate. He nodded.
Broken.
The humane path, exposure without total ruin.
Lesson emerging. Sikkerhedsfester. Honesty heals.
Chaos descended like a prairie fire, but I steered it with steady hands. Jack moved to a motel. Per Carla's advice, temporary separation. Megan, Hospitalized briefly for stress contractions, rallied with family support. Her brother confronted Jack at a neutral spot.
No fists.
Just words. Stay away unless through lawyers. Jack complied. Shattered. Social ripples hit. Whispers in Bozeman about our troubles. Idaho Falls buzzed. Megan's friends circled wagons. No public shaming. I insisted on privacy. Carla mediated. Assets split fairly. Restitution for embezzled funds. Jack faced IRS audit. Paid fines. Avoided jail by cooperating. His job? Lost. But he found temp work in construction.